Good evening, and thank you for the question because I wanted to start this press conference praising my players. I think that the game plan worked perfectly, except for the last part of the game when the game were open. We blocked them in all the areas. I think that we stopped all the gaps, especially on the wings, making a difficult game both for Manbir and for Liston, who are the players that like to have space. In the center of the pitch with the three center backs and the three midfielders, they were not dominating the game. They were not creating big chances, let's say. So I repeat, I think this is the way to keep forward. I understand that the result is not the result that we desire or that we wanted before the game, but the reality is that I have to praise my players because they did a huge effort, and even with 10 man, we were having our chances, especially in set pieces in the last part of the game. Let's talk about this. There is a repetition of events game after game, and one is this. One is that the first card of Sovic is a card that never should be given. I'm not talking about the second one, but the first card is a normal foul, and the referee is making a gesture of 1, 2, 3. So why he didn't make the same gesture with Manbir when he did 1, 2, 3, with Ashish Rai when he did 1, 2, 3, and with Subhashish when he do 1, 2, 3. So the 1, 2, 3 decision came against Sovic, which is unfortunately. Apart from that, always when there is doubtful actions on the box, never came on our side. I think that there was a very clear handball on the box of Mohan Bagan, and one more time, we need to regret that the referee didn't want to call it. And the last one is the last action in a counter-attack with Ashish Rai, that is a very clear second yellow card, and they should also finish the game with 10 man. More succession of events, unbelievable mistakes, crazy, fatal mistakes on our back. When the team is looking solid, when the opponent is not creating problems, we just make a Christmas gift to Mohan Bagan, not clearing the ball. It happened in the last game, and again, it's coming in this game. So all these events are really, really punishing us. The performance of my team today was according to plan. I have, again, to praise my players, but this succession of events, unfortunate decision by the referees. Fatal mistakes in our defense. Next question.
Okay.
You are always making questions to make a title, so if you want to talk about football, I talk about football. But if you want to talk about emotions and the same question as last day, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to reply because then you twist everything what I say. I have to be on the side of my players always, in the good times, in the bad times. I say in the last game, and I have to say it again. Unfortunately, I need to repeat, when we win together. When we lose together. But the individual mistakes are something that is out of scope. It's being crazy. It can happen one day, but when it starts to happen game after game, it's a worry for me. It's really a worry because we are not finding the solution and we are repeating the same mistake. It's exactly the same mistake that make us lose the game at home in the last game with Mumbai City. The derby is not only about experience, it's about recent performances. So, and adjusting and analyzing the rival. We started today the game in a very well-defined 5-3-2. I think that the things were working well, and in particular David, for me, he did a super game. He emptied all his deposit of fuel. He was jumping, and he was the player making more deep the centre backs of Mohan Bagan, who allow Clayton and Jackson to have in some moments of the game, the control on the central areas. So I think that decision of the first 11 was right. The system was right. And as you say, Nanda Mahesh came in the moment that we missed Sovic, and we had to take all the risks to go forward. We have two options, or continue playing a 5-3-1 with 9 players, but I think that with the 5-3-1, we were not having players up front and we were not exposing Mohan Bagan, so we decided to go for a 4-3-2. And I repeat, I think that was appropriate because the last 15 minutes of the game with 10 man, we were the best side on the pitch and we could capitalize. We took the risk in the last 15 minutes. It worked well, but we could not score. That's it. Also, Mohan Bagan in that moment, they also made two or three dangerous counter-attacks, but that's my decision. We need to go for the game. So 1-0 is not enough. We took the risk, and in the last 15 minutes, it could be 1 goal for each of both sides. if you see the game of today, nobody would say who was the better team. Both teams were quite balanced. It was a very intense and open fight. Yes, I understand that in the ISL still there is no the result for our fans that we want. But if we continue working in this line, progressing in the way we are doing, recovering all the players that we cannot count today, Saul, Talal, the new addition, Rakip. In the moment we have the full squad, I think that our team is going to be a serious contender for bigger things. Football is a combination of contention players, creative players, fast players, control players, players that can play inside, players that can play outside, strikers that some of them are more deep, David, strikers of more control. So in the case of Sovic, I repeat, I cannot accept the red card of Sovic. Just watch what happened in the first yellow card. It's not fair. The second yellow card, he's cutting a counter-attack, and he has to do it, otherwise it's 2-0. And if you saw, if he don't cut it, it would be 2-0 and the game is finished. And with the 1-0 and 10 man, we had the options to win the game. So I cannot tell that the decision of Sovic of blocking that counter-attack is wrong. The yellow card is right, but the first yellow card of the game is very unfortunate. And again, is the 5th time that we are having a handball in opponent box and it's not called. We never get that action. In critical actions, we never get the right decision. If you see our best moments were when I came here, and not the first 2 games that the team was trying to settle to the ideas of the new coach, but in the AFC Cup, the team was looking really solid because we were having all the resources available. We could play with them. From the game of Mohamedan, when we received the 2 red cards, is when all the shaky situations, the injuries, the red cards, and when game after game I need to find solutions to the problems that we are having. In the month of December, I think that we were something, nobody was expecting us to have that strong reaction, but in the month of December the team was looking very strong, and I would say we were one of the best teams of the ISL. But the injuries and the problems continue happening. So right now, we just have to recompose, as I say. In the moment we recover all our players, it's unfortunate because we are in the 11th position. There is only 9 games to finish the ISL, so it's late. It's really late. But remember that we have also one important competition in March, the international competition, and there is also probably the Super Cup. So we need to keep moving forward. I think that everybody today around the team was having this feeling that losing the game 1-0 is unfair. It should come in a different way. So in the moment we recompose, the way forward, I repeat the same word, I think that this team has a lot of room of improvement, and not only from the tactical side, but in terms of recovering resources, players, and try to make our team again unbeatable. That is the feeling that we were having in December, and unfortunately in the last 2 games, because of the circumstances that we just discussed, we are getting losses that are very difficult to digest. No, honestly, I think that is a psychological advantage because our team is resilient, and every time we have a problem, we try to come stronger. So I don't mind. We are okay with all the problems and what happened this week that all of you know. So I'm not going to describe again all the events, the communication of the game, the venue, the trip. Tomorrow, for example, we need to come back to Kolkata in different flights. So what I can say is that I cannot imagine Real Madrid-Barcelona play, for example, in my city, in the derby. The country would be completely against this. But in India, you decided that I don't know who decided, that the biggest game of Indian football has to be relocated and play in such a poor atmosphere.
গুৱাহাটীৰ মাজমজিয়াত নৰ্থ ইষ্টৰ প্ৰথমখন এক্সক্লুচিভ মাৰ্চেল আৰ্টছ সামগ্ৰীৰ শ্ব'ৰুম তথা বিপণী তিৰুপতি স্পৰ্টছ। কাৰাটে, উচো, টাইকোৱাণ্ডো, বক্সিং, জুজিটছু, পেঞ্চাকচিলা, জুডো আদি 7টাকৈ সমৰ কলা ইভেণ্টৰ ইউনিফৰ্ম আৰু প্ৰশিক্ষণৰ সামগ্ৰী ইয়াত উপলব্ধ। ট্ৰেকশ্বুট, জাৰ্চি, মাৰ্চেল আৰ্টছ মেডেল, মোমেণ্টো, ট্ৰফি ক্ৰয় কৰিব পাৰিব পাইকাৰী মূল্যত। ফুটবল, ভলীবল, বাস্কেটবল, ক্ৰিকেট আদি ইভেণ্টৰ সামগ্ৰীৰ ছাপ্লাইৰ বাবে অৰ্ডাৰ ওলোৱা হয়। কাৰাটে টাইকোৱাণ্ডোৰ নেশ্যনেল ফেডাৰেশ্যনৰ দ্বাৰা এপ্ৰুভড ব্ৰেণ্ড আৰু আপ টু ডেট সামগ্ৰীৰ বাবে একমাত্ৰ বিশ্বাসযোগ্য আৰু নিৰ্ভৰযোগ্য প্ৰতিষ্ঠান। ঠিকনাটো হৈছে ডক্টৰ বি বৰুৱা ৰোড, হাউচ নম্বৰ 52, ফাৰ্ষ্ট ফ্ল'ৰ, উলুবাৰী, গুৱাহাটী 7, ফোন নম্বৰ 9085083493, ইমেইল sanju_regal@rediffmail.com।